So it sounds like you're one of the many out there thinking about making the switch to electric heating.
A lot of people are these days.
But you're also maybe someone who isn't quite ready to say goodbye to their gas ducted system,
Yeah, I get that.
especially if you've already got an add-on cooler.
Absolutely. Those are great systems. And it sounds like you're in a really good spot to look at this whole hybrid heating thing.
And the SmartSens Hybrid in particular, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're diving into today. This tech is super interesting because it lets you keep your existing gas heater.
Oh, so you don't have to replace the whole system.
Nope. You add electric heating functionality.
Wow. Okay, so how is that even possible? It's not like you can just plug your gas heater into an outlet.
No Frankenstein heating solutions here. It all comes down to how your add-on cooler works.
Okay.
It uses refrigeration technology, which is actually very similar to how electric ducted heating works.
Really? So it's like your add-on cooler is already halfway to becoming like a dual-purpose heating and cooling machine?
Exactly.
That's really cool. So how do you bridge that gap? What makes that hybrid magic happen?
Well, that's where the SmartSens Hybrid kit comes in. Think of it like this. We're going to do a bit of a brain transplant on your heating system.
Okay, in a good way, I hope.
Of course, in a good way. The kit has a control box,
Okay.
and that connects to your add-on cooler
Right.
and basically teaches it some new tricks,
Like what?
like how to heat as well as
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's really neat. So it's really like teaching an old dog new tricks. So there was a mention of an ambient temperature sensor and an upgraded controller. Where do those fit in?
So those are key parts of the kit, too.
Okay.
Think of the sensor like the system's eyes and ears.
Right.
It's always keeping track of the temperature in your home.
Gotcha.
And the upgraded controller.
Yeah.
That's like the control panel, right?
Okay.
It lets you adjust everything. And you can even set schedules based on, like your preferences and stuff.
So it's not just about having both gas and electric, it's about having them work together
You've got it.
in a way that's comfortable, but also hopefully will save me some money on the energy bills.
Exactly. And that brings us to one of the coolest features.
Yeah.
Intelligent switching.
Okay, now you've got my attention. Intelligent switching. Tell me more.
Okay, so picture this. It's a chilly morning.
Okay.
You want to warm up the house quickly.
Yeah.
You can use the gas heater for that initial blast of heat because, let's be honest, gas is really good at raising the temperature quickly.
Is it true?
And then once the house is nice and cozy, the SmartSens Hybrid can seamlessly switch over to electric heating to maintain that temperature.
So you get the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
And I'm guessing this intelligent switching thing also considers things like, I don't know, the time of day or maybe even energy rates.
You got it. It's all about working smarter, not harder. Right. Especially when it comes to your energy bill. It factors in things like the outside temperature.
Wow.
And in some cases, it can even tap into lower off-peak rates from your energy provider.
Really?
It's like having a financial advisor for your home heating system.
That is really smart. I mean, this could be a game changer for anybody who wants to be a little more energy efficient.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all want to try to do what we can for the environment, right?
Absolutely. It's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Gives homeowners more control and flexibility over their energy usage.
That's great.
But not all systems can do this.
Really?
Not all systems are made for this hybrid life. We need to talk about compatibility.
There's always a catch. So compatibility is key. What do people need to know? What do our listeners need to know to figure out if their current setup can handle this hybrid upgrade?
You're absolutely right. Compatibility is crucial.
Yeah.
So you've already got the gas ducted heater.
We do.
And the add-on cooler.
Yeah.
That is a great start. For the SmartSens Hybrid to work, you want to make sure that your add-on cooler is one of the compatible models.
Okay, so how do I know? Am I going to have to pull out like manuals and stuff and decipher model number?
Hopefully you didn't throw those out.
I know.
But a good rule of thumb, an easy thing to look for,
Okay.
is to look for add-on cooler models that start with ICE.
Nice.
It's usually right there on the front of the unit, on the side of the unit.
Okay, so if you see IC, you're probably in good shape.
Right.
What about age of these systems? Is there a chance my add-on cooler might be a little too vintage for this kind of upgrade?
That is a great question. And the good news is that this technology has been around for a bit.
Okay.
So even if your add-on cooler isn't brand new, there's still a good chance that it's compatible.
That's a relief.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm always a little wary of technology that demands that I replace all my existing stuff.
Right.
It's nice to know that upgrading doesn't necessarily mean a complete overhaul.
Yeah.
But okay, let's talk about, we've talked a lot about the nuts and bolts of how this system works.
Yeah.
But paint me a picture. Okay, how does this hybrid heating actually improve your day-to-day life?
Okay, so picture this. Is the middle of winter,
Okay.
you're getting home from work,
Us.
and the last thing you want to do is wait like forever for your house to warm up.
No.
So this is where having both gas and electric heating really shines, right?
Yeah.
Because with the SmartSens Hybrid, you could just crank up that gas heat and get the house nice and toasty in no time.
Instant gratification.
Exactly. And then once you are nice and comfortable, the system can seamlessly switch over to electric, which might be a little bit more cost-effective for maintaining that cozy temperature, throughout the evening.
It's so funny you should say that, because I was just thinking, what about those shoulder seasons? It's not quite freezing,
Yeah.
but it's chilly, and you want a little something,
Oh, absolutely.
but you don't want to overdo it.
Right, right.
What happens then?
Well, that's when the intelligent switching really proves its worth, right?
Okay.
Because it senses those subtle temperature changes, and it decides whether you need a little burst of gas or a more gentle wave of electric heat.
Yeah.
No more second-guessing yourself or constantly adjusting the thermostat like the SmartSens Hybrid. It just takes care of it for you.
I'm starting to see the appeal here. It's
Yeah.
like having this personal climate assistant that anticipates your needs and just keeps everything running smoothly.
Exactly.
Okay, but what about those energy savings we keep dancing around? Does having this hybrid system actually put a dent in your energy bill?
Well, the exact savings, those depend on a lot of factors.
Yeah.
Like, who your energy provider is, how well your home is insulated,
Okay.
even your own personal habits. But the ability to switch between gas and electric strategically,
Yeah.
that can definitely make a difference.
Okay.
For example, if you've got an energy company and they offer lower rates during off-peak hours, the SmartSens Hybrid, it can be programmed to take advantage of that.
Oh, wow.
Switching to electric heating when those lower rates kick in.
So it's not just about having the two heating sources. It's about knowing when to use each one.
Yes.
To your advantage.
It takes all the guesswork out of being energy efficient.
That's brilliant. I love that. And of course, using less gas, more electricity. That's good for the planet, right?
And let's not forget about the added bonus of maybe reducing that carbon footprint a little bit, right?
Yeah, especially if you're using, renewable energy to power your electric heating. That can be a much greener option than just relying solely on gas.
Absolutely. For anyone out there who's a little environmentally conscious, this is a fantastic way to maybe lower their impact without having to sacrifice comfort.
Yeah, it sounds like the best of both worlds, really, but we've got to be practical too, right? With any new technology, it's really important to weigh the pros and the cons.
Of course, yes.
I'm sure there are some downsides or at least some challenges that come with hybrid heating.
Oh, you are absolutely right. You always want to look at both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of things to keep in mind.
So before we send our listeners off to ponder their hybrid heating future, are there any downsides? We talked a little bit about installation costs. What about maintenance? Is it a headache having to maintain two systems?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Honestly, maintenance is pretty straightforward. You'll still want to follow those recommended service schedules.
Okay.
For both the gas heater and the add-on cooler. It's not like one magically eliminates the other.
Right.
Think of it like having, a dog and a cat. You got to feed both.
That's a great analogy. I like that. Two systems, double the maintenance, even if they are working together. Okay. What about the lifespan of these different components? Should I be worried about one part wearing out before the other?
Yeah, that's where thinking long-term is important.
Right.
The SmartSens Hybrid kit itself should be good to go for quite a while.
Okay.
But you do want to consider the age and the condition of your existing gas heater and add-on cooler.
Okay.
Because if one of those is nearing retirement,
Yeah.
it might throw off the whole cost-effectiveness of going hybrid.
So factor that into your future expenses, just like you would with any big home improvement decision.
Exactly.
Okay, speaking of decisions, what about the smart aspect of this whole thing? Because you know me, I am not the most tech-savvy person. Is it actually user-friendly? Or am I going to be stuck staring at a wall full of blinking lights?
Well, technology has come a long way.
It has.
And the SmartSens Hybrid is no exception. There might be a slight learning curve with the upgraded controller, just because it has so many bells and whistles.
Okay.
But from what I've heard, most users find it pretty intuitive.
Mm. Okay, any other things to consider? Oh, what about noise levels?
Oh, that's a good one. It's true. Gas heaters and electric heat pumps do have their own, like, sound profiles.
Right.
Some people really like that gentle hum of the gas heater.
They find it cozy.
Yeah, and then some people are like, no, I need quiet. I want that electric quiet.
It is personal preference, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, just like some people will always prefer a real crackling fireplace, even if it's not as efficient.
Exactly.
It's about what matters to you.
Okay, so do your research, get out there, listen to some of these systems in action.
Exactly. Gather as much info as you can.
Yeah.
And decide, does this align with, what I'm looking for?
Love it. It's been so fascinating, this deep dive into the world of hybrid heating. I have learned so much.
It really has been interesting, hasn't it?
So as we wrap things up, what would you say is like the one key takeaway from our conversation today?
I think for me, it's about empowerment.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you don't have to wait to start making those, smarter energy choices.
Right.
This technology is here now. You could start exploring the options today.
On your own terms.
Exactly. And in a way that works for you, your home, your budget.
It's true. I mean, and it's only going to become more important, right, as energy costs keep going up.
Right.
And we all become more aware of, the impact we're having on the environment. It's good to have options.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been fantastic. As always, I love our little deep dives into the world of home tech and all this kind of stuff.
Me too. It's always so interesting.
Always so much to learn, but we will leave it there for today. Thank you so much for joining me.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And to our listeners, thank you, as always, for joining us. We hope you found this helpful, maybe a little bit inspiring. Here's to a warm and wonderful future, no matter how you choose to heat your home.